Okay, thanks for watching the Jerry Rigger channel. Today's video is all about putting together my realspace electric height adjustable standing desk. And if you stick around all the way to the end, you'll see how I hid the cords to help make a little extra desk space. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. Okay, so today we are going to assemble my realspace electric height adjustable standing desk. And as you can see, I've already taken it out of the box. I didn't think I needed to make a video of how to take it out of the box. I figured you guys were all smart enough to do that without me watching me do it. But one thing I will say, I was very happy with the packaging. It seemed to be packed fairly well, had foam all the way around it, cardboard, thick cardboard in between the pieces. Everything was, packed to my satisfaction. So I really can't complain about that. Now, as you can see here, you have, right over here, you have the two bottom feet, right? Just down below there, you have the power cord. These are your assembly, your screws to assemble it, as well as an Allen wrench and some what we call wire ties or zip ties, with some stick-on things to attach it. You have your bottom or upright, I guess you would call it, and then of course the tabletop. Looks pretty easy to assemble. They tell you to lay the tabletop flat on its top, and the screws in the bag, they actually have A, B, C, and D. A being the screws for the feet themselves over here. B being the screws that attach the upright to the bottom of the table, or to the tabletop, I guess you would say, the bottom of the tabletop. And then of course your zip ties for your cord. So I'll go ahead and get to it. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit so you guys can see the whole thing. Hopefully that shadow isn't bothering you too much. Now there was tape holding this drawer. I've taken that tape off already. There was also a piece of foam behind the drawer. I've taken that out already as well. So, all right, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the motor side over here. Right here's your power supply where you're going to plug it in at. So I'm going to put the motor, that has a plug that runs underneath here to the front where your switches are. And then right here's the plug where you plug in this motor. So I'm going to put that on that side. And this just sets on here. Four screws on either side. And it comes with the Allen wrench, which is the only thing I can see. I mean, I've got right here, I've got this cable tie holding this in place for this motor. I don't know if we can, yeah, might need to, alright, so we can plug that motor in right there. Probably leave that tied to keep the motor from, or the cable for the motor from getting in the way of anything. Again, we got the 4 bolts for either side, and they're Allen head bolts, so they come with an Allen wrench. So I'm going to get all the bolts started first before I tighten any one of them down. Alright, so I've got all of them started. I'm going to go ahead and put them all down hand tight, and then I'll tighten them all. Go back over them one more time, make sure I tighten them all. That one could have been a little tighter. Alright, now I'll go ahead and put the feet on. Same thing, of course. I'm going to make sure the feet hang over the same side on the table. You know, you don't want it backwards like this, because then you're going to be out of balance, and you know, if you put something too heavy on the front edge, it might tip over. Once again, I'll go ahead and put all 4 screws in before I tighten any one of them. Alright, so now you have the nice power cord. And I guess I'll have to break out the instructions to figure out where they want me to put these cable ties. I'm assuming that they want them somewhere where they're not going to get caught as the table moves up and down. Yes, that power supply is just held on with Velcro. And it looks like they want you to use this wire tie, or zip tie, or whatever you want to call it, to add it to this power cord to keep it from getting pulled out. So, which makes sense because this is going to fall out pretty easily. So they want you to actually take one of these, put it on here, you know, once you get the cord plugged in, whichever direction you want it. I'm going to use it just like it is because I want it, you know, plug it in right here. And that's going to come down from this side and it'll go right in there, so that's good for me. Yeah, I mean, their wire tie, I mean, this cable for the motor is, you know, way longer than it probably needs to be. So I'm going to leave that wire tie that they've got on there, as well as, you know, they have a little, I call them bread tie, holding that in place. But that's going to shorten up that right to the exact same length. And since the table and the motor, you know, doesn't separate any when it goes up and down, the legs actually move. So that should be just fine, just like it is. What we can do though, before we do anything else, is actually just, okay, so apparently there's a reset. If the legs are fully in the down position, they want you to press the up and down button at the same time for 5 seconds to enter reset mode. There will be no response when pressing the up button. Continue to press the down button to reset. The lifting system will then bottom out and rebound slightly, indicating that the reset is successful. If the lifting system fails, long press the up and down button at the same time for 5 seconds. Continue to press the down button until the lifting system bottoms and rebounds and resets the system. Okay, so up and down at the same time. 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, 5, 1000. All right, sounds like it just reset. There we go. Okay, so it is working. We're gonna bring it all the way down. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put in this zip tie just to make sure that this doesn't come loose on us. And this is just a peel and stick. Just peel off the backing, stick it on there. That should keep that cord from coming out. Now, one thing I will mention, you don't want to put this cable clamp on here. You know, you want this to just to dangle, because if you put it on here, it's going to try and pull on it when the table lifts up. But I think we're good where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, and we'll call it good. I will unplug it before I lift it over. Go ahead and put it back in. All right, well, there you go. Keep in mind, if you go all the way down, you're going to have to reset it. All right, there we go. All right, I'll go ahead and give it a B for ease of installation, only because of the whole reset thing. I had to break out the instructions to figure out why I could not, or why the motor wasn't moving. You know, that seems silly to me, that it shouldn't just go up and down when you push the up and down button. You know, most of the stuff that I work on has limit switches on it, so if it goes down too far, you can't move it down any further, you have to go up. Seems silly to me that you have to do some kind of a little weird reset thing if it goes all the way down, but that is what it is. I'm not going to complain too much about it now that I know about it. But it was pretty simple to put together. Like I said, the only reason why I gave it a B was the whole reset thing. But I'm happy with the table. I'm happy with it going up and down. I'll have to see how long it lasts. Okay, so I did go out and buy a surge protector with a long cord, since this is going to be dangling off the back of the desk and it's going to be going up and down. I needed a little longer cord. This one had a 10-foot cord. They either came in 3-foot or 10-foot, so I ended up getting the 10-foot. But I really like this one because it has a switch on the side. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the desk all put together. Man, I got to tell you, this thing really goes up high. I was really surprised. I mean, I am 6'4", and this thing, I don't know if you can see this, but I mean, it goes, I'm thinking this would be high enough for just about anybody under 7 foot. You know, I mean, this is, you know, pretty high. But I've got this obvious problem here. With all these cords. Well, another thing to notice, if you push this, I mean, you just barely have to touch these buttons, and it goes up and down. But if you hold it, push the button and hold it for a couple seconds, it just continues to go. You know, I don't like that. I have a little kid. Obviously, if I do that now, it's going to come down, it's going to hit that if I'm not careful. So, I mean, it's okay, but I do, because I have a child, I did not want her just coming over here and pushing on this all the time. So I did not plug the desk directly into the wall. I actually plugged it into the outlet, which has a switch back here. So I can go ahead and shut that off, and that disables these front switches. So the only way, all right, so so what I've discovered is that once you power the desk on, it has to go all the way down and home before it'll let you move it up. My wife came up with a couple things just to clear off the top of the desk. She got this nice little laptop holder that actually lets her stand it up, lets her stand that laptop up. She also got this nice little cell phone holder, which works great because then she can watch the baby on the camera while she's working. She usually gets up early while the baby's still sleeping, and she can watch the baby right there on her phone. But we got this problem with all these cords. Now, the best way I've found to get rid of these, you know, some of the cords, I obviously can't get rid of all of them, but is to hide them behind the monitor. Now, if you've got a monitor like this one, where you have the adjustable height, you can wrap that cord right around there, and that'll hide a lot of those cords. Just leave them hang down as much as you need. But when you got one like this that's not height adjustable, it's a little more difficult. So I'm gonna have to kind of rig something up to hang those cords from on the back here. I might take this back panel back off to do that. Okay, so as you can see, I just kind of loosely wrapped those cords. You know, there's nothing tight there, and I can still move it up and down. I still got enough room and slack in the cables. I can move it up and down to where I want it. And and that'll hide the cords for this monitor. I also put just a little piece of velcro, double-sided velcro. I love this stuff. That'll keep it, you know, you can buy this stuff in a big long roll and then just cut it down to whatever size you need. Alright, so I'm just going to use a little utility knife. And these are real brittle blades, so you want to make sure that you're wearing eye protection if you're going to use something like this, because these will snap off really easily and quickly. This really poor planning by these guys. Didn't really make it to come back off. Yeah, so you want to be, like I say, be careful if you're going to use one of these blades. Alright, so the nice thing about this is we have access to these screws now, which gives us you know, something to grab onto. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to not only take these cords and get them pulled up here, but I've also got the docking station. I think I'm going to mount back here to hide all those cords as well. I've got a roll of this Velcro. So what I'm going to do is I'll just puncture a hole. And then once I puncture that hole, I can put these screws through there. So I punctured through it. All I got to do is get punctured through. I don't have to make a huge hole, because then I can stick that through there. I want to put the soft side on the inside so it's not scratching anything. Now they do make stands that you can actually, they're more similar to the adjustable stand, but where you can actually mount your computer right on the back side of the stand, which I thought was a pretty good idea. We use those at work. This is just a little touch light that I bought on Amazon. Wasn't really meant to be part of this video, but it has become a part of the video because I keep touching it. So now, what I can do, wrap this around here. The height level I want it. Ta-da! Now I'm attached on the back side. And all those cables can be pulled up, the ones that don't have to go to someplace else. Now we just have to do something similar. I wonder, just do that on the other side right there. Now I've got those cables hidden behind. You know, this has a nice little wire wrap already on it, so if I mount it like this, we should be fine. And you could leave this longer so you can wrap it around too. I should have thought of that. But it's working, so I'm going to leave it as it is. I'll do it on the power supply though. So what I'll do on the power supply is I'll put it back here instead of putting the cable up there. Take this off and put it in a drawer somewhere. Until I finally throw it away and then I decide I need it a week later. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and move the screw down just so I get a better grip on the velcro. Alright, so I've got one last thing to do here. I've got this long power cord down here hanging off here. I want to attach this power cord. Right now it's just hanging over here. Hopefully you can see that. Actually, I've got two cords hanging over here. This one is the actual power cord for the desk itself. So I'm going to tie that up. I got room around the top of the desk here, so between that and the bar, so I'm going to slide a piece of Velcro through there. I can tie up the extra cord that I don't need. I'm going to raise the desk all the way up to do that. Back that up a little bit. So, unfortunately, these things, when I went to buy it, I want to make sure I leave plenty of room. But so I mean I think that's all the way up now. Yep. So I should be able to tie it like that. And like I say, this Velcro looks like it will just slide right underneath there. So that'll do two things for me. It'll tie up these cords so they're not hanging down. it's also going to keep this from pulling on that power strip that's on top, and pulling that power strip off the back of the desk. This is double-sided Velcro. I just bought this at Walmart. There we go. Okay, so as you can see now, we've gotten rid of all the cords except for the mouse cord and the keyboard cord. Which of course, if you had a wireless mouse and a wireless keyboard, you wouldn't even have that. All the cords would be gone with the exception of this, which I want right here so I can reach back here and I can turn that on and off. And it'll also turn off the desk going up and down. So, which will keep that out of reach for my daughters, you know, having right there on the front of the touch to move it up and down. It's kind of worried about her moving that up and down, getting pinched in between the chair and the you know, handle here. I think having the switch way up in the back out of her reach will prevent a lot of that from happening. So alright, so that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching the Jerry Rigger channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one.
It's not falling, Daddy. It's not falling, Daddy. It's not falling, Daddy. But
Good job. Alright, now you can tell she's my daughter. She fixed the handle so that it wouldn't fall down anymore. I was waiting to get a longer screw
Daddy,
to make that work, but
no, I want to get.
baby.
Hi.
Now, for 3 years old, that's pretty smart, I got to admit.